Welcome to this week's episode of They Say, where we examine the famous quotes that shape our lives and beliefs. Today, we dive into the murky waters of two age-old sayings that have sparked many a debate. They say women belong in the kitchen, and they say a woman's place is in the home. Now, these quotes have been around for centuries, and they've played a significant role in confining women to traditional gender roles. But where did they originate? What kind of impact have they had on our society? Let's delve deeper and find out. Picture it. The 17th century. A man gesturing towards a woman proclaiming, "Come now, my dear, your place is in the kitchen." And the woman, sighing, responding, "Yes, my husband." Fast forward to the 19th century. A different man shaking his head, decreeing, "Women belong in the home, not out in the workforce." And another woman, downtrodden, saying, "I understand, sir." Then we reach the 20th century. Yet another man, pointing towards the kitchen, declaring, "You hear that? Women belong in the kitchen." But this time the woman responds firmly, "I beg to differ, sir. I have dreams and aspirations beyond the kitchen." The scene changes, but the "they say" quotes remain the same. Used as tools to control and limit women, these sayings have been a constant in history. But as we've seen from our little time-traveling skit, women have always risen to challenge these traditional gender roles, fighting tooth and nail for their rightful place in society. In the upcoming episode, we'll be hearing from experts and everyday people on the impact of these sayings. We'll explore how they've shaped society and how they continue to be challenged and overcome. As women continue to break down barriers and shatter the glass ceiling, these "they say" quotes are being redefined and reinterpreted. These "they say" quotes have been used to control and limit women for centuries. But as we can see from the mini-skit, women have always challenged these traditional gender roles and fought for their place in society. Now let's hear from experts and everyday people on the impact of these sayings and how they've shaped society. Dr. Jane Thompson, a renowned gender studies scholar, shares her insights. These quotes, often used in jest or casual conversation, carry with them centuries of societal expectations and restrictions. They've been used to confine women to the domestic sphere, negating their contributions in other areas, from politics to science, art to business. Next, we hear from historian Robert Hughes. The "women belong in the kitchen" trope can be traced back to the Industrial Revolution. As men went to work in factories, women were left to manage the household. Over the years, this division of labor became ingrained in our social consciousness as the norm. Sociologist Maria Gomez adds, "These sayings perpetuate harmful stereotypes. They reinforce the notion that women are only good for domestic work, which further marginalizes them in the workforce and society." Now let's turn to some everyday perspectives. Amy, a stay-at-home mom, shares, "I chose to be a homemaker because I believe in the importance of raising my children. But it was my choice. The issue is when society dictates where women should be, instead of allowing us the freedom to decide for ourselves." We also hear from Sarah, a successful entrepreneur. "I've often been told that my place is in the kitchen. It's a frustrating stereotype that undermines my achievements. Women are capable of so much more than what these old sayings suggest." Even younger generations feel the weight of these words. 15-year-old Lily says, "In school, some boys joke that girls belong in the kitchen. It's not funny, it's hurtful and dismissive of our potential." And it's not just women who are challenging these stereotypes. Mark, a single dad, shares, "I cook, clean, and take care of my kids. Does that mean my place is in the kitchen too? It's time we moved past these outdated notions." From these contributions, it's clear that the impact of these sayings is profound and far-reaching. They shape our perceptions of gender roles, influencing everything from personal relationships to professional opportunities. But it's also evident that these quotes are being challenged. Women and men alike are pushing back against these stereotypes, advocating for a world where a woman's place is wherever she chooses it to be. We've heard from experts who've studied the origins and implications of these sayings. We've listened to everyday people sharing their personal experiences and thoughts on these quotes. These perspectives provide a glimpse into the diverse experiences and thoughts on these "they say" quotes. But the conversation doesn't end here. This dialogue is part of a larger, ongoing conversation about gender roles and equality. And it's a conversation that we all need to be a part of. Because when they say, we all have a role to play in shaping what they say next. Now let's turn to how these quotes have been challenged and overcome as women continue to break down barriers and shatter the glass ceiling. For years, women have been pushing back against these traditional gender roles. The suffragettes of the late 19th and early 20th centuries fought for women's right to vote, paving the way for future generations to challenge the status quo. They questioned the "they say" quotes, and through their tireless efforts, they achieved a landmark victory that changed the course of history. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, the women's rights movement gained momentum. Women across the globe started demanding equal rights in all aspects of life. They challenged the notion that their place was confined to the home or kitchen. They sought and achieved greater representation in education, the workforce, and politics. In the present day, we see an increasing number of women in leadership roles. Women like Angela Merkel, who served as Germany's chancellor for 16 years, or Kamala Harris, the first female vice president of the United States. They have defied the "they say" quotes, proving that a woman's place is wherever she chooses it to be. We see women excel in fields traditionally dominated by men, from the sciences to sports. Take Marie Curie, who won 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry, or Serena Williams, who's won 23 Grand Slam singles titles in tennis. These women have not only challenged the "they say" quotes, but have also shattered them. However, the struggle is far from over. Women around the world continue to face discrimination and inequality. The glass ceiling may have cracks, but it is far from shattered. The fight to dismantle these "they say" quotes continues. While we've come a long way, there's still much work to be done. As we continue to challenge these "they say" quotes and reshape societal norms, we can all play a part in creating a more equal and inclusive society.